At the beginning of the story, we see a lady doctor who has come to a mental hospital to treat a special patient. The in charge doctor tells her that some of the patients here are very aggressive, so they need to be handled with extra care. While he is explaining this to the doctor, a man comes running and informs them that a patient named Lena is missing. Hearing this, the doctor panics because the patient she had come to treat was none other than 31-year-old Lena. The in charge tells her that Lena is a very dangerous patient. Saying this, he leaves the doctor in a room and goes to look for Lena. Inside the room, the doctor sees a 10-year-old girl and starts talking to her. However, this little girl is none other than 31-year-old Lena. Lena is extremely aggressive and is about to attack the doctor without thinking. But just in time, the in charge arrives and saves the doctor from her. Lena is then taken back to her room, and after this incident, the in charge doctor informs the lady doctor that Lena is a highly dangerous patient who can attack anyone. He further explains that a family had adopted Lena, but she killed them all, and since then, she has been in the hospital. The doctor then looks at some of Lena's photos and notices scars on her cheeks and lips. She asks the in charge about it, and he explains that when Lena first arrived, she would constantly try to escape and harm herself, which resulted in those scars. Meanwhile, Lena kills one of the hospital guards and escapes from the facility. She encounters the doctor outside, who becomes terrified upon seeing blood on Lena's clothes. The doctor rushes to the in charge and tells him that she cannot treat Lena. Saying this, she leaves for her home. However, Lena secretly hides in her car and follows her home. Once inside, Lena attacks the doctor and injures her severely. After this, Lena searches the internet for missing young girls and comes across a girl named Esther who had been missing for 4 years. When she sees Esther's photo and notices that she looks exactly like her, she quickly disguises herself as a child and decides to go to Esther's home. But before she can leave, she notices that the doctor is still alive. She immediately goes back and kills the doctor, despite the doctor's desperate pleas for her life. After this, Lena sits in a garden where an officer approaches her and asks why she is alone there. Lena tells him that her name is Esther and that she has been separated from her family since childhood. Hearing this, the officer decides to take Lena with him to reunite her with her family safely. We are then introduced to Esther's family, which consists of her parents and an older brother. Her parents had even hired a detective to find her. When the detective arrives at their house and tells them that Esther has been found, her mother is overjoyed and rushes to the registry to pick her up. There, Lena pretends to be Esther and hugs her mother. Later, her mother takes her home on a plane, and during the journey, she talks to Esther, Lena, but something about her seems off. However, in the excitement of finding her daughter after 4 years, she ignores her doubts. At home, Esther's grandfather gets very emotional upon seeing her, but her older brother behaves strangely. Esther's mother then takes Lena to her room so she can rest, as she has an appointment with a psychologist the next day. Lena feels very happy to be in the house, as she had actually come there to steal. Her real plan was to find missing young girls, take their place, and then steal from their homes before running away. Sometimes she even killed family members. The next day, Esther's mother takes Lena to meet a doctor. Lena tries her best to act like Esther, but when she struggles to answer the doctor's questions, she starts behaving like a small child. This makes the doctor suspicious of her. However, before the doctor can investigate further, Esther's mother takes Lena home. On the way, Lena notices that the detective is still keeping an eye on her, as he too has started suspecting something. This makes Lena very nervous because her problems are increasing. At home, Lena paints a beautiful picture, surprising her grandfather, who wonders how such a young girl could create such a perfect painting. Meanwhile, Esther's mother becomes even more suspicious of Lena and decides to read her diary, which Lena always keeps close. When Lena sees her reading the diary, She quickly snatches it away. Later, Lena overhears a conversation where she learns that they are planning to take her to the doctor again. This scares her, as she fears getting caught. That night, she packs a bag with stolen money and tries to leave, but then she notices Esther's grandfather and decides to stay. The next day, when Esther's parents go out, only Esther and her older brother are home. The detective visits the house, but Esther's brother tells him that no one is home and asks him to return later. However, the detective makes an excuse: to use the washroom, and sneaks into Lena's room to collect her fingerprints. Lena notices this. The detective leaves, but Lena hides. Meanwhile, Esther's mother finds her diary and, after reading it, discovers Lena's true identity. The detective, upon analyzing the fingerprints, realizes that Lena is not actually Esther, but someone else. However, before he can act, Lena attacks him and severely injures him, thinking she has eliminated a threat. But the detective manages to tell her that Esther's mother also suspects her and will soon expose the truth. Just then, Esther's mother arrives and kills the detective. She then confronts Lena, telling her that she knows she is not her real daughter. She reveals that 4 years ago, Esther's brother had a fight with her and accidentally killed her. Esther's mother had witnessed everything, but, out of love for her son, covered up the crime and disposed of Esther's body. She explains that Esther's grandfather never knew about her death, and because he loved Esther so much, they created the lie that she had gone missing. This way, her son was saved from going to jail. Hearing this, Lena is shocked. Esther's mother tells Lena that she knew from the start that she had come to steal, but now that she has stayed, she must have a bigger plan. She then gets emotional and says that when Esther disappeared, her grandfather's health deteriorated, but since she returned as Esther, he has been recovering. When she had gone away from the installation, her grandfather's health started deteriorating badly. But ever since she came back as Esther, his health began to improve significantly. That's why she asks Lena to stay with them as Esther. Lena agrees to this, and after that, the two of them bury the detective's body. Then they return home, where Esther's mom tells her son that they need to keep a close eye on Lena. She says that after a few days, they will get rid of her. Later, she goes to Bolina and tells her everything that the doctor was going to ask. Then, Lena meets the doctor and convinces her that she is actually Esther. This completely removes the doctor's doubts, and she also believes that this girl is indeed Esther. After this, a heated argument takes place between Lena and Esther's brother at home. Sometime later, Esther's mom serves food to Lena, which makes her suspicious. Instead of eating it, she takes it to her room and feeds it to a rat. That night, when she wakes up, she sees that the rat has died after eating the food. This confirms to her that the food was poisoned. The next day, Lena puts the dead rat into Esther's mom's juice, which makes her even more furious. Later, Esther's dad is about to leave town for some work, and Lena insists on going with him. However, he tells her that he will return early in the evening. This makes Lena very sad because she knows that as soon as her dad leaves, her mom will try to kill her. Now, Lena needs to escape to save her life. When they reach the station to drop off Esther's dad, Lena sees an opportunity to kill Esther's mom and brother. As the train approaches, she prepares to push them from behind, but at that moment, a passenger comes in the way, unintentionally saving them. Lena then tries to escape by stealing their car, but the police catch her because she still appears to be just a 10-year-old girl. With the help of the car's registration, the police track down the owner's house and return Lena home. After the police leave, Esther's mom and brother start beating up Lena. Esther's brother drags Lena down the stairs, but she remains unharmed. Meanwhile, Esther's mom is on a phone call when Lena suddenly kills Esther's brother. Seeing this, Esther's mom is shocked and filled with rage. She tries to kill Lena, but Lena somehow defends herself. During their fight, the gas is accidentally turned on, setting the house on fire. Unaware of this, they continue their battle and end up on the roof. Both of them are hanging from the roof, and whoever falls will not survive. At that moment, Esther's dad arrives home and rushes to the roof to save them. Esther's mom tells him the whole truth, revealing that this girl is not really Esther, but an impostor, because the real Esther is no longer alive. Hearing this, Esther's dad is deeply shocked. Suddenly, Esther's mom loses her grip and falls to her death. Now, Lena tries to convince Esther's dad that she is the real Esther. At first, he helps her up, but when he notices her fake teeth, he realizes that his wife was telling the truth. Before he can react, Lena pushes him off the roof, killing him as well. After this, Lena once again returns to the house, disguising herself as Esther. The police arrive and take Esther back to the doctor. The doctor, while talking to an officer, mentions that Esther has no one left in this world and that she reunited with her family after 4 years, but now she is all alone again. The officer then tells the doctor that they have found a family willing to adopt Esther. Hearing this, Lena gives a sinister smile.